Just a minor panic because I couldn't find my rings. Okay, so I'm going to start by priming my eyes using the Maybelline Master Prime eyeshadow base, and I'm not positive I love this. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't really do a good job of like blocking out the veins in my eyelids. Like, I wish it had a little more coverage to it. So I don't really know like what kind of look I'm going for today or what I'm even gonna do. I kind of just know the products I want to use, and we're just gonna kind of go from there, I guess. So I'm going to take my Huda Beauty palette, and this is the rose gold one, and I saw that she's coming out with a new, more purpley version, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But if you guys haven't got your hands on this palette, I highly recommend it. I think it's so good. I know like a lot of people don't like it for some reason, but I think like the mattes are great. The glitter and foil shadows down here are so awesome. I love them. You do have to use your fingers, and I know that some people don't like that. So if you don't like using your fingers, you're probably not gonna like this as much. But I don't mind using my fingers. I don't have super long nails. Like, they're pretty, I like to keep them pretty short. And I know you guys are gonna think the reason behind that is so weird, but like, when I was little, or when I was not little, but when I was younger, I would pick pimples, and long nails would like give you scars and like dig in and stuff. So ever since then, it's just become a habit to keep my nails short. So I know that's like a super weird reason, but that's why. So I just used the shade Bay to set that primer, and I'm just going to dive into Sandalwood here as a transition. But yeah, I don't mind using my fingers because I have short nails. So my nails digging into the shadows isn't a problem for me. And I feel like that's probably why people don't like using their fingers. And also, it can be a little messy, but I really don't mind. Just wipe it off. I think it's worth it because they're so pretty. And I feel like with a lot of shadows, you use your fingers and can get better payoff. Like a lot of metallic shimmer shadows, you just get better payoff using your fingers. So I would rather have that better payoff. Okay, so I used this as a transition, but also kind of built it up a little bit thicker right in the crease. And let's see, what do I want to do next? I think I'm going to, I just burped. I'm going to dive into the shade Henna here. And I think I'm going to do a halo. So I'm just going to build this in to the outer V and the inner corner. The mattes in this palette are so I don't think I finished what I was saying about buying this palette. If you like this palette and haven't bought it yet and are even toying with it, I say get it because it's so good, and once it's out of stock this time around, it's not coming back. So I would say just do it, like just bite the bullet and do it. I know it's still in stock on Sephora, so I would say do it. I feel like you'll like it. If you don't mind using your fingers for metallics, I don't think you'll hate it. Okay, now I want to take the shade Maneater and kind of do that on the inner portions of that shade. Like, you don't want to regret not getting it, you know? And if you get it and regret getting it, you can always resell it. That's the beauty. Like, resell it to one of your friends that doesn't mind if it's gently used. I think I want to take the shade Trust Fund here, which isn't called rose gold. The shade next to it is called rose gold, but I feel like this is just more of a pink shade. I feel like this is actually like a legit rose gold, but it's called Trust Fund, and I'm going to put this in the middle here. It literally looks like I just put like gold foil on my eyelid. So pretty. I love it. Like, is that not beautiful? It literally looks like gold foil is just laying on my eye. I love it. I love it. I love this palette so much. It's so, so beautiful. This is the leftover that was on my hand, on my finger. Like, you don't even need that much. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of buff out the edges of that just so it blends nicely. I need to get my eyebrows done so bad. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my face. I'm going to be using my J1 Jelly Pack as a primer, and I really, really love this stuff. It feels like the Nip and Fab primer, just a little bit thicker. I kind of want to do a comparison video on the two. Let's just see, kind of just for my own knowledge. Also, I know my face is like really breaking out right now. I don't know what the deal is. Ignore my lip, by the way. I know it's like kind of red and kind of bloody looking, but I have a really bad habit of picking at my lips and like peeling the skin off when I'm really anxious and really nervous. It's a horrible, horrible habit, and I've tried so hard to stop, but it's so, so bad. I really need to stop because it's just, it's like disgusting and looks horrible. I just can't. Okay, so for my foundation today, I'm going to be using the Ordinary foundation. This is the full coverage one in the shade 2.0P. I've been really liking this foundation. My only complaint is that it doesn't last super long on my skin. It lasts a good amount of time, but not a full day's worth. But I do really like this. I do not like, however, that it kind of doesn't like to stick into the creases of my nose. I don't really know what the deal is with that, but it just doesn't ever want to stick there. I have to like play with it a lot to get it in there. Like, it looks like this always until I do one of those numbers and finesse my way in there. Okay, for concealer, I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape. Here's my one request from Tarte. I want them to make a Shape Tape foundation. Like, I want this in a foundation. I want this exact formula in a foundation. Because I sometimes want to just smother this all over my face and never look back. It's so, so beautiful. And I just want to I want this all over my face. I really do. I've thought about it so many times, just using this as my foundation. I probably still one of these days. It's just so pretty. Yeah, I want a Shape Tape foundation. I feel like that's not too much to ask. I feel like it's like their best seller. Foundation is looking a little dark on me today. It doesn't usually look this dark. I don't know what the dealio is. Now, to set that concealer, I'm going to be taking the Velvetizer on my L'Oreal sponge. I used a different sponge, by the way. For my foundation, I used my Egg Bun Puff sponge, and I used my L'Oreal sponge for my concealer. I just like this sponge better for my concealer. I don't really know why. I feel like it's just, I don't know. I feel like it just does a better job of blending it out because it's so squishy. Okay, now for highlighter, I'm just going to take a little bit of this CoverFX drops. This is in the shade Moonlight. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my hand here. And I'm going to use that same L'Oreal sponge and just apply this to my cheekbones. I love this stuff. I know some people struggle with liquid highlighters, but honestly, they've been my favorite recently. I know they can be a little bit hard to blend out and apply, but I just like to apply it to my hand and then use my beauty blender to pat it in. I feel like it kind of blends a little bit easier than using your fingers. It just kind of all melts into the skin. And I feel like lately, the liquid highlighters have been looking a little bit more natural on me. They just blend into the skin so easily and just like look melted into the skin and like they're a part of your skin instead of just sitting on top. So I really like that. Just a little bit more because I want to put a little bit on my nose here. It's my favorite place to put my nose highlighter. A little bit onto Cupid's bow. Now I'm just going to take the Velvetizer and my big powder brush from Sephora, and I'm just going to set down the rest of my face. This powder is still like so stunning. I love it so much. Alright. This powder just looks so beautiful. Like, it looks beautiful setting your face, but even like throughout the day touching up, I think it looks like you just applied your foundation. A lot of times with powders, at least for me, they can get cakey the more you apply them throughout the day. And this one just doesn't do this. Like, I can apply it 1,000 times and still looks like I just applied a fresh face of makeup. And I really love that. So for bronzer, I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And I've hit pan, and I'm sad about it, but kind of happy about it at the same time because I can finally get a new one because this has been broken for a very long time. So I'm just going to apply these. For blush, I'm going to be using MAC's Dame. This is an oldie but a goodie. And I'm just going to swirl this onto my cheeks. I've been loving this Luxie Beauty brush for blush. I feel like it just applies it so nicely and not super heavy, which is what I like. I like a more natural looking blush instead of like straight up color. That's why I love this color as well. You can tell it is very loved. You can't even see the words on the back. It's completely rubbed off. Okay, for brows, I'm going to be using my Benefit 3D BrowTones. I need to get my brows done so bad. They have just like grown in so badly this time. Usually they like follow a pretty decent shape, and it's only been a month since I got them done. Like sometimes I go like 5 months without getting them done. I know that sounds so bad. They usually follow a pretty decent shape when they grow back in, and this time they just have not grown in well at all, and I don't know what the deal is, but I'm kind of over it. I'm going to be using my Tarteist felt tip liner. This is the dual-ended liner, and I'm just going to do a wing. I always draw my line first. I don't really know why, because I know most people don't do that. My sister and her friends are here. I hope you guys can't hear them, but they're being so loud. Alright, let's get a good look at this one so we know what we're trying to do here. Okay. I think that's going to be as good as it's going to get without it getting super freaking gigantic, she says as she tries one more time. And for the bottom lash line, I'm going to dive back into the Huda Beauty palette. And I'm going to take the shade Sandalwood first. Okay. I really don't like this brush. This is a Morphe pencil brush, by the way. I'm not sure which one it is. I will have to look it up. but every time I dip it into a shadow, like 4 hairs come flying out. I really like this brush because I like the shape of it, but aside from the shape, like, and it works well, it just sheds like so much. I feel like I'm gonna use it like 5 more times and all of the bristles will be gone. I really do. This is the only brush that I've had this problem with, by the way, from Morphe. Like, the other ones are not an issue with shedding. I mean, they shed, but like they don't shed nearly as much as this one. Like, the other ones shed a bearable amount, like a normal amount that you would expect from a brush, because all brushes shed. People will say they don't, but they do. But this one, like, I just dip it into a shadow. Like, I'm not even being rough. Like, I'm just maybe doing one of these little numbers, and hairs just like jump out of it. I don't understand. I don't know. So I just took, I can't remember if I told you, but I just took the shade Sandalwood and smudged that underneath. And then I'm going to take a little bit of henna on the very end there and apply this closer to the lash line in the outer half. Alright, and then I'm going to take Maneater, even less, more focused in the outer third. And for mascara, I want to try the new Lancome Monsieur Big. This is just a little sample that I got, so it's not the real deal, but I got the little tiny sample. It's like comes in a weird little like squeezy tube looking kind of thing, but I've heard wonderful things about this and I'm so excited to try it out. So let's just go in. I've heard this stuff is like life-changing, so I'm super stoked. And it's also a really wet formula. You can tell just by opening it. And y'all know how I feel about wet formulas. I love them. So it's looking a little clumpy, I'm not gonna lie, but they are looking voluminous. I mean, they're big. They are big. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with this. I feel like maybe it's a little too wet. Like, if it was just a little less wet, it would be the perfect happy medium. Honestly, these lashes are looking better. Maybe my eyelashes just dried funny. They do that sometimes. After a shower, they like will dry like in weird positions. I don't know what the deal is with my lashes sometimes, but they're a little rebellious. So they definitely big. Ooh, I don't think I'm gonna like this for the bottom lashes. So I'm just gonna take my Essence Volume Stylist mascara just because I have it right here and use this one on the bottom. I must have like slept funny on this eye or something because these lashes are not cooperating. I totally must have slept funny on this eye. I don't know what the deal is, but these lashes just look like they have lost their damn minds. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to be using my MAC lipstick in the shade Peach Blossom. This is my favorite lipstick shade ever, like hands down my all-time favorite lipstick. I don't know if you can tell, but it is completely rolled up and that's how much I have left. And it's also like dipped, so the middle is completely flat. But I don't know why I do that with lipstick. It always dips just like curves to fit my lip. I don't really know. But yeah, this is like a nice peachy nude shade and I absolutely love it. It was limited edition and my heart is broken. Oh, this is just my perfect lipstick shade. I am so sad it was limited edition. I just love it. I love it. Alright guys, so that is it for this little look. I don't even know if this was like a get ready with me or a tutorial or what. I really don't know. I just, oh well, so yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys like this look. If you have any requests for upcoming videos, leave that in the comments below. I'd love to check out your requests and do those videos for you. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!